Memory, all alone in the moonlight. And then you do the title thing. Memory, all alone in the moonlight. Welcome to the Morning Ramble. I'm Matt.
I am Eric.
Our first story today, I think, is the cat story.
Yeah, sure.
We're going to talk about cats.
Yeah.
Yesterday...
I had no idea about this, first of all.
I don't know if it dropped yesterday or if it dropped the day before yesterday.
I'm going to look at these photos that you sent me.
So they're doing cat...
Ah!
Yeah, I know. He hasn't
this?
seen these before.
Wait, what is this?
This is Cats the movie. And there's... I mean, it's a star-studded cast. You got James Corden, you got Taylor Swift, you've got Rebel Wilson.
Yeah, I could tell that was Rebel.
Just a bunch of things. But here's...
Who asked for this?
Nobody asked for this. So there's a little bit of an outcry because it's creepy. It is creepy. And Cats was creepy when it was just costumes.
Yeah.
But at least they were obviously costumes. But I do have many questions about this. So if you look at the fourth photo there, with the white cat holding the utensils, you can clearly see that the utensils are huge.
Yeah, so
right?
what are they eating?
So I guess canonically, these are cats, like actual cats.
Are there going to be people in it?
So supposedly, I don't know, but there's also a scene where they're on a giant bed. So you would assume that indeed there are people in this universe.
Like, are we going to pan out and find that, like, David Schwimmer and is like the owner of the house and like
yeah, like these are my concerns because one, why are you keeping little people furries in your house? That's creepy.
Well, that's the demographic they're making this movie for.
Yeah, but here's the thing: a lot of the comments on the YouTube video.
Yeah,
I highly recommend you go look at the
I'll have to
trailer.
Watch that once we're done.
A lot of the comments on the YouTube video for the trailer are, I am a furry and I am creeped out at this. Don't take that out of context.
Oh,
it's very creepy. So it's like, all right, I've got a lot of questions. First off, why does Rebel Wilson's cat character have boobs?
Yeah.
And the rest of them don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused by this. I have just a lot of questions. Idris Elba is also in this movie. Why?
Yeah, well, it's funny because yesterday I saw a meme and someone said we're making a Cats movie where Nick Offerman is every cat, and someone photoshopped his face on like all of this.
That would be
picture.
Way less creepy.
And I saw it, and I'm just like, okay, why are we talking about cats? That must be from a play or something. That's funny. And then I moved on. I didn't know. I literally saw none of this. So
it also has I think Judi Dench, a very, very famous older actress, is going to be in this. So this is a stacked cast.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like one of those things where, I mean, this has been happening a lot, where they're just making CGI that looks creepy as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder how they're doing with Sonic.
That's gonna bomb.
I could do okay.
It's gonna be awful. It's gonna be awful. Like, Detective Pikachu did okay. Like, it was. I heard it was good. It did okay. But
yeah, but everybody, Jigglypuff in that movie is adorable.
Okay, well, I haven't seen it yet, so.
I mean, Jigglypuff's adorable all the time. I love Jigglypuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fight me. Anyway,
all right.
I guess we'll stop talking about furries for a little.
Move on to some more interest. No. That's the most interesting thing we're going to be talking about is these human cat people.
This will be a clip on Facebook for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, so now since we got the big news out of the way, I guess are we gonna talk about politics the rest of the time?
Sure.
We should put up a warning or something. Sure. All right. So as we move forward, this is going to be our last podcast, and then we're going to take a break, right?
Yeah, we're taking a break until
the first weekend after Labor Day, I think, or Labor Day weekend, one of the two.
Yeah, we're just going to take a little break. We've done this before. We took one in December.
Yeah, we took a month
and it's
off.
been a while since we've done one.
I think we ended on our 16th podcast, and this is number 40.
Yeah,
so we've done about 20, 24 something since then.
Been doing it for a while, and I just need to take a little bit of a break from the political news stuff.
Yeah, so but before we do, we're going to jump full in.
Yes, we are going to do that.
So let's talk about candidate. Let's get some candidate watch. Let's talk about that. So I know we talked about the debate last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever we talked about it. So they announced the new, I guess there's going to be debates at the end of July, which we thought the next ones were September. But they already announced the lineup. So it's pretty much the same thing. I'll put up the photo. Did you see this?
I didn't see the photo version. I saw I actually like this arrangement better than the last one.
Well, yeah. Honestly, it's very similar. The main thing that they did was they split up Bernie and Biden.
As well they should.
But really, like, Harris... Harris and Booker weren't together last time, so I guess they kept Harris with Biden, did you notice? I thought that was interesting. Those are the top two people that are polling, so I really didn't know why they wouldn't split them up.
Yeah, for now they're the top two that are.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's going to keep its momentum unless she performs just as well in the second debate.
Yes.
If she performs just as well in the second debate, I'm pretty certain that she's gonna stay on top. She's gonna get to the top.
Get to the top, or at least tie him. At least like match him.
I mean, she's basically there right now.
Yeah, so pretty much everyone is still in the race. We saw that Eric Swallow dropped out.
Yes.
Because God is good.
And then he was immediately replaced by someone else.
Yes. So Steve Bullock, now he announced a while ago, but he didn't make the quota. He is the governor of Montana. What?
I don't know. The flag looks weird on the...
Oh, I think there's a shadow or something. It's all right.
All right. I was just... All right, go on. Sorry.
Okay. That's a weird-looking flag. What is that, America? Steve Bullock, he's the governor of Montana, I believe. So he actually was on Stephen Colbert the other night, and Stephen Colbert did a bit with him where it was just duplicates of him debating himself. It was pretty funny. I suggest you go watch it.
Right.
It was funny. He's like we did our own debate where the qualifications are you have to be a governor and your name has to be Steve Bullock, and then like they just had a bunch of different ones. It was a pretty funny bit. But yeah, pretty much everyone else is the same. Bennett and Ryan are still in, the two low people, and Gillibrand. I thought I had an updated poll, but I lost it. But this is one that caught my eye. Now this one's a New Hampshire Democratic poll that was released last week. So it showed Biden at 21%, Harris at 18%, Warren at 17%, and then Buttigieg at 12%, Sanders at 10%, which I thought that was kind of crazy, and then Yang at 5%. So the two people that I think we kind of like the most would be Yang, and you like Pete.
I like Pete.
They're moving up.
I don't know if I like Pete as a presidential candidate.
Enough, yeah.
I think I like him as a person.
Yeah.
I think he seems like a cool dude.
Yeah.
Cool bro. Petey, come on.
Come on.
Come on the pike.
He's getting too high up now. You had to wait. He had to persuade him when he was 1%. Now he's 12. 12's too big for here.
You're too good for us, Pete.
But there is someone maybe we could get. O'Rourke is 0. So
boring Beto.
Just drop out, Beto. Beto, what are you doing? You lost against Ted Cruz. You're not going to beat Biden, Harris, Warren, and everyone else on there.
Oh no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Beto, come on the podcast.
Yeah. So two more things candidate related that I thought were kind of funny. So the first one was there was a rumor going around. John Delaney, the one that we made fun of.
Right.
We make fun of all of them, but that one. So there was a rumor that his staffers were actually asking him to drop out of the race, like his own personal staffers, and then he dismissed it. He said that that's not true. It's incorrect. I think he's lying. I think they did ask him.
That's not true. It's incorrect. Well, if it's not true and it's incorrect, they should be.
Yeah. Yeah, they should be asking.
Just,
I think
if you're polling not good,
If you're at 0, now here's the thing: Yang wasn't pulling that good either. But the thing is, in the first 2 months as we get into spring, like from spring, the first debate and stuff, Yang and Pete, they gained some momentum. Booker went down. Booker went down a lot. But yeah, so I mean, if you're not even moving right now,
if your movement's just stopped, leave.
Yeah,
just get out of there, because all you're doing is hurting the party at that point.
Yeah, you're taking up talking time that we could be listening to someone else.
Yeah, I want to hear these people for more than 5 minutes at a time.
If that.
Exactly. Yang got, 3 minutes total?
3 minutes his first debate, yeah. Well, he wasn't rude. That's the problem. He needs to be a little bit more rude.
He's a classy guy.
Yeah. And then some more candidate news, but on the opposite side. So Republican Mark Sanford is considering challenging President Trump in 2020.
Why does he look a lot like the guy from House of Cards?
The main guy?
Yeah,
or?
I mean the guy who was the what's his name? I forget his name.
You're not talking about Kevin Spacey.
I'm talking about Kevin Spacey.
Oh, he doesn't look anything like Kevin Spacey.
I can't. No, he's got that little. He's got the tilt down to the face. He's got the nose. He just looks like an older, sadder Kevin Spacey.
Can you be sadder than right now, Kevin Spacey?
Yeah, his victims.
Yeah. Well, no. Did you see they dropped charges? There was 2 cases that already dropped all the charges.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one that happened in the bar, and then the other one I saw it. I don't know. They just dropped everything, so I don't think there's really anything against them right now, other than socially people.
Yeah. Also, sorry, I just clapped.
That was probably loud.
That was probably really loud.
So yeah, now right now
just cut that.
We have,
just cut the sound off of that clap.
No, I'm gonna turn it up.
No,
I'm gonna turn it up. So technically, we have 3 Republicans. If you think about it, Mark Sanford, if he announces, Bill Weld is challenging Trump in the primary, not the general. So, did I not tell you that?
No. What?
Oh yeah, Bill Weld is He's running as a Republican, not a Libertarian. That's one. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I thought we talked about this. I guess I didn't. So Bill Weld, he ran with Gary Johnson 3 years ago as Libertarian, but he's running as a Republican because he was a Republican governor, and he is running in the primary against Trump, because you can challenge the incumbent sitting president, just no one does. So Mark Sanford, if he announces, technically that would be 3 people on it. Neither of them are going to get even close. But Bill Weld is pretty confident. I was watching an interview with Bill Maher with him, and he said that Bill Maher was making fun of him. He's like, come on, you don't think you're going to... Yeah, he's like, well, there's some states that Democrats can vote both sides, so they might, and I'm like, yeah, okay. There's like 20 states, and you think they're going to give up their vote for a Democratic candidate to vote for you against Trump? I don't think so. Yeah. It's a weird thing. It's pointless.
That would be a very interesting political strategy.
Yeah.
And also the strangest upset I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, are you sure? I think 3 years ago was the strangest upset you've ever seen.
I'll be more weirded out by people turning their back on Trump.
Well, let's talk about people and Trump.
Because some people... I'm not saying all Trump supporters, but there are a lot of Trump supporters who are just like, yeah, ride or die, whatever.
Oh no, there's when you say a lot, I would probably say they're most.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Most.
I didn't want to fully generalize that.
No, you can I would say that I'm not all Republicans, but like people who are Trump
supporters in general. I'm definitely not saying all Republicans or something.
All right, so in the news the last 2 weeks, we had some stuff happen, and it kind of happened in like a 5-part thing. It was like kind of a roller coaster.
Yeah, it was like a weird mini saga.
Yeah, so first I want to talk about before Trump's tweets. So we're going to talk about Trump's tweets, but I want to talk about before that. So before that happened, we were introduced to this new term called the Squad.
Yes.
The Squad is 4 congresswomen, all of color. AOC, Ilhan Omar, Tlaib, I think her last name is.
I do not know.
And then the other lady.
I am bad with names.
There's 4 of them. But the 2 main ones are AOC and Omar, the most outspoken of the 2. They have been very critical of ICE and of Border Patrol, and they've been using terms like concentration camps. And I don't know. I wanted to get your opinion on it. I think it's pretty insane to use those terms, personally, especially when you are motivating people. When you use the term in concentration camps, we have what we had in Washington, where some young adult from Antifa, I don't know if he was part of Antifa, but they're saying it's from Antifa, came with a rifle and some explosives and charged an ICE facility in Portland. Did you hear about this?
No.
Wait, see, that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't, I don't mean to be that whole Republican conspiracy. It doesn't get to the mainstream news. A guy with a propane tank and explosives and a gun.
Propane tank?
I know. I don't know why. He literally charged an ICE facility, and they had to kill him. They shot him down because he was firing.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was motivated to attack, and I would say pretty much exclusively by the terms that are being used by Democrat congresswomen, calling them concentration camps. Because if you are telling people, and people think that people are being gassed or whatever, I mean, that's the comparison you're making. But anyway, I want to move a little bit further.
I haven't heard people call them concentration camps.
AOC has.
I don't really pay attention to that, but the most used thing that I've heard is internment camps.
Internment camps.
Which is similar to the Japanese internment camps.
Yeah, so no, that's the main one. Yeah,
and that's the main comparison that I've seen, and I think that's maybe not fully apt, but it's definitely closer. The fact that some of the stuff that has been seen in there, and some of the stuff has been proven to be correct. Action has been taken against some ICE employees for screwing up.
Yeah.
That fits.
Yeah.
It fits. No. And there will always be... this is one of those things where you get the whole a few bad apples analogies.
Well, and the thing is, I don't really want to get into that analogy, or even I don't even want to even talk about that part of it, because there's so many different things we can dive into. We can dive into about the funding for it, and then we could talk about why Democrats are refusing, like the Democrats, Congress right now, they're not approving funding for border because they don't agree with Trump's policies, and then stuff like that, because there's just not enough resources for the amount of people that they are detaining. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but in that case, wouldn't it be... Now, I'm not a person who really feels things, but wouldn't that be, inhumane to keep people without the proper resources?
Because, I would say yes. Because what else do you do? What else do you do? Do you just not enforce the law, or do you send people into the other side of the border with nothing? Or what do you do?
I mean, it's not an easy. The main problem I have with both sides on this debate is that nobody's thinking about a middle ground here. Nobody's thinking, hey, maybe we hold off on crazy immediate action, which would cause huge rifts, and also we can't afford because it's not funded right now.
Well,
and maybe look into properly providing actual outlets for people.
You're saying
if
maybe
you are getting rid of people, make it as humane as possible, because they're humans, and the party that is progressing this more, which is Republicans, are all about the God.
Well, that's
the kind of thing that you get. You run across these things, and it's like, I don't know what decision to make here, because it's like, all right, it's my religion versus my...
I think you're losing me. Sorry, you're losing me.
How?
You're talking about, where did religion come in? I'm confused.
You're
talking about deportation, and you're talking about immigration.
I'm talking about humaneness.
Okay, well that's I don't think you're going to find anyone who doesn't want to be humane. Okay?
I think I'll find somebody.
Okay, well, you might find someone, but I don't think the majority. No one wants to shove people into cages.
Have
40
you
people
looked on Facebook recently, Eric?
Yes, I have, but no one wants to do that.
There's a lot of them, Eric.
You're telling me... hold on.
There's a ton of garbagey people who would want to do things like that. I have literally talked to people who are like, yeah, Trump is going to kill them all.
Okay, I don't know who you're talking to. That's insane.
There's
I follow
a lot
every
of them,
Republican,
dude.
conservative podcaster, news outlet. I have never heard anything.
You're not going to find these guys on podcasts.
You're talking about trolls online? I don't understand. You
They're
think
not
people want to
trolls.
kill immigrants?
They're not trolls online. They're people who I've talked to in person.
I would love to know their names. I don't understand.
I can't say that because I've seen them at work.
Let's not talk about the small percentage of people. Let's talk about the two big. I didn't want to talk about immigration, but let's talk about the two big opinions, I guess you could say, on this, which is Republicans want to enforce the law, and illegal immigrants need to come here correctly. Now, do I think we've talked about this before? Do I think that asylum and things should be easier to obtain? Yes. But we just saw AOC and a bunch of Democrats criticize a lot of the Border Patrol executives, the people in the executive branch that are running that. And I will say what he said. You are the legislators. You are Congress. Legislate. He is enforcing the law. If you do not like the law, Democrats have the majority of Congress. Change it.
Democrats have the majority of the House.
Of Congress, of the House. Yes. Not the Senate, of
no,
the
Congress
House.
is House and
both,
Senate
yes.
together.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm congressman, senator, two separate. Anyway,
I fully
House
hear
of Representatives. So, but anyway, that's my. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's just cut and dry like that. But I'm just saying you can't criticize someone for enforcing the law that is currently in play. Now, we could talk about the humane stuff, but the thing is, if there's no money, I guess catch and release, I guess, is what you need to do, right?
I have no idea.
But I'm just saying these crazy accusations and these things that people. I don't know. It's just insane to me. And that's where the polarizing is coming from. The polarization is coming from is that these, people think that Republicans or whatever just want to kill immigrants or something like that. No, I don't. Yeah. I cannot find any mainstream Republican.
Oh no, you're not going to find that on mainstream. No.
That is against immigrants, legal immigrants, people coming here to find a better life legally. That is the way it needs to be done. Right. And that is the majority of the point of view. That's the point of view.
This is kind of where we reach that impasse, though. Mm-hmm. If the system of immigration is broken,
then
what do you do about it?
Funding, laws, legislate. There's no other option.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
Why are people so polarized on it?
But and here's the thing, though, because I think it's because the media and everything is making it out that to be that way. I think a lot of people are being fed either misinformation or information that's inflamed. This isn't new. Obama has been doing this for years. Those facilities were built by the Obama administration. He deported many immigrants. Now Trump has increased the number. Just recently, but within the last 2 years, it's been about the same. That's the thing. So because it's Trump now, the media has now turned the spotlight.
It's also become sort of a like if a Democratic candidate for presidency were to go off of Obama era policies,
it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't go.
No, it wouldn't.
That's just not the Democratic Party anymore. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and I think that Democrats sort of threw away a huge strength that they had when it came to winning elections. Now, this has nothing to do with progress or human rights or anything. I'm saying straight winning elections.
Yeah. Because
they always went for a centrist candidate. Somebody who was pretty in the middle and who was able to work on both sides of the line.
That's what we were talking about.
Because you got Clinton, you got even Obama was quite good at that. Now later in his second term, he did start to do more things.
We're going to see that during
later
the general.
in his second term.
Whoever the Democrats pick, we're going to see that turn in the general. Okay, Biden is a great general candidate because of his views. I guarantee. Let's say Harris wins. I'm just going to point this out. Let's say Harris wins. I'm saying that a lot of the radical, maybe viewpoints that she has. I'm not saying she's going to backpedal, but you're going to see a shift in her talking points during the general because now she's not aiming just for the Democrats. She's trying to aim for that middle ground that hates Trump enough, and she wants to try to appeal as much to that. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
By becoming not as radical with some of these viewpoints, like you can't have your health care and everyone's going to be on Medicaid and open borders and stuff like that.
I mean, that's just something that scares me on both sides. Radicalization. Like, going way too far on either side, that freaks me the hell out.
Well, here's the thing, though.
It's too much.
Would you say Trump is a radical?
I don't know.
I'm glad you didn't say yes.
The fact of the matter is,
yeah,
I don't know what goes on in Trump's head, and I don't think anybody does.
I don't think Trump knows.
It does change day to day. He's a man in constant flux.
Trump, policy-wise, in this country, I love when people say, like, because since we're talking about Republicans and how some Republicans are crazy or whatever, Trump, policy-wise, has done literally nothing that he has been so conservative, I guess you can say, or even you can somewhat say more liberal with some of his policies than I would say. He's about equal to Obama. You know, I mean, a lot of the stuff that people hate about Trump is just stuff he tweets.
Yeah,
and says
the way I put it to people who say, you know, like, oh, Trump's done so much.
Yeah.
And I asked him, because I am curious,
mm-hmm.
like, what exactly has he done that a normal Republican person wouldn't have done? And there's not really much of an answer to it.
No, there's not, because
he's been
a Republican
pretty
candidate.
Basic Republican.
Yeah.
The only difference is he's doing it way louder.
He's very loud.
That's the only difference. He's just loud. He's not more radical than any Republican we've ever had.
Yeah.
There have been way more radical Republicans, like Abraham Lincoln. That was pretty radical.
Started a war. All right, so real quick, and then I want to move on back to the Congresswoman. So on Trump, so they actually just put up. Actually, I'll come to that because they put up the House put up two different things. So we were talking about the squad before we got on immigration, and then Pelosi and the squad have been kind of butting heads. Omar and Pelosi. Have you saw that? They were kind of going back and forth. We shouldn't be tweeting about each other. We should talk and sit. And then AOC had a grind to pick. I don't know what that phrase is. Anyway, so the Democrats were kind of eating at each other, right? And from the Republican side, yay. And then Trump picked up his phone and he typed something. Let's read what he typed.
Yeah, not a good one.
Part of this, first of all, I don't think this is racist. I'm fine saying it. Okay, so I'm going to read it first. So interesting to see these progressive Democrat congresswomen who originally came from countries, that's wrong, only one of them did out of the four, okay, whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe, the worst, most corrupt and inept anywhere in the world. I think she came from Syria, Omar. Not great place. So
yes, in constant
war. I guess you could give him a 75 on rightness on that one. So I'm going to grade this. If they were even functioning at all. Now loudly and viciously telling the people of the United States, the greatest and most powerful nation on earth, how our government is to be run. Well, she's a congresswoman. That's kind of her job, right?
I mean, that's the kind of thing where because I don't pay attention to Trump's Twitter.
Neither do I.
Because it's in constant flux. It will sometimes get loud, and then it'll fade away.
Yeah.
But basically, that's the whole point here.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about it.
Let me finish the big part here. So government-wide run. Why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came, then come back and show us how it is done? These places need your help badly. You can't leave fast enough. I'm sure that Nancy Pelosi would be very happy to quickly work out a free travel arrangement. Okay, so people took those tweets and said, Trump said, go back to your country. Technically, he didn't in that way. Technically, that phrase was never said. So, what do you think about this?
Whatever. I mean,
I don't.
There's a lot of stuff that came from this.
Yeah.
That is absolutely disgusting.
Oh yeah,
You and I do agree on that.
Which we will come back. So from this point, first of all, I wish he would stop, because he didn't need to do this.
Did you see when he was trying to battle against Twitter?
No, what do you mean?
He was like, Twitter is doing something with my tweets or something like that.
No.
And I was just like, man, wouldn't it be funny if Twitter was just like, you know what? Site's gone now. We're done.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
It's just the end of Twitter because Trump got mad at them.
Yeah. So what he said here is just kind of idiotic. But from a government point of view and from a social point of view, this is something similar. Hold on, let me finish before you wide eye. This is something similar to what I said. I've said previously when talking with people is, everyone wants to come to America, and that's great. And we import, I think, over 1 million immigrants a year legally. But what kind of world would we be living in if everyone just kind of bailed on their country and not tried to improve it from within and stuff like that? And I'm not talking about Omar particularly. I'm just talking about as a whole right now, like just as a concept worldwide, internationally. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it happens way less than certain people think it does happen.
Yeah.
The vast, vast majority of immigrations come from situations that can't really be rectified by your
because
layman.
Because there might be a dictator or some criminal.
If there's a war going on or something, I get it. And then I especially get when you get to a country, say you live there for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Your life is there now.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden somebody turns around and is just like, hey, why don't you go back to the country that you were at? It's not at war anymore.
Well, that would be dumb.
And it's just like,
well, no, my point of view.
Here now.
Well, no, a good example in my point of view would be is like the people of Venezuela. Right now they have a dictator, Maduro.
Yeah.
And instead of people fleeing, you have, I forget the interim president, the one who has, the one that they're trying to replace Maduro with. You have people supporting this person and, trying to overcome this dictatorship government and this communist government and establish a proper democracy in Venezuela. And that's admirable. And we haven't seen much of Venezuela in the news recently.
I mean, it is
still,
admirable.
But
it's also, how far would you be willing to
go?
Put your life in line, especially if you have a family?
I mean, I think the only way that me and you could even think like that is if whatever happened like right here. And I'm not talking about United States. I'm talking about like right here, like where we grew up.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about this basement.
Right in this basement. Would we board up the windows?
All right, who would be the dictator of this basement?
So, all right. So moving up from anyway, my point of me bringing up this conversation is that this is something that I've kind of thought about, and I'm not sure if Trump was implying that kind of thing, but yeah, it's a little annoying. But anyway,
I don't think there's anyone on this planet who can infer what Trump means by almost anything he says.
So, well, let's talk about the people who did infer. So everyone came out, Trump's racist. Okay, we've heard it. He's been racist for 3 years now. He's racist. I want your honest opinion. Do you think he is racist, or do you think that this tweet is racist?
I think that Trump.
Yeah.
Let me finish this sentence.
I will let you finish it.
I think that Trump is racist against every single human being on Earth that is not Donald Trump. Because every single human being on Earth is so far beneath him.
What about Donald Trump Jr.?
He's especially racist to Donald Trump Jr.
Because he has his name and he's younger.
Just look at the way Trump operates. He does think he's above every
I'm not gonna
other
argue
human
that.
being on Earth.
But what I want to do is argue the definition version, not the media's version, of racist. Someone who thinks that people of another skin or ethnicity is beneath you. I do not think Trump is racist.
This is the whole thing.
Because there are many people. Right now, isn't there like that one rapper in Sweden in prison that Trump's trying to get out of a Swedish prison? Did you hear about this? Some rock. I forget his name. Trump is like, for some reason he really cares about it, and I'm not sure why. It's he's a black rapper. I forget his name. But I'm just like, I don't even understand why Trump cares. It's kind of strange. I think I'm probably very ignorant in this moment because I don't know anything about the story.
I thought the only black rapper Trump cared about was Kanye.
No, there's another one.
Really?
Well, anyway,
I'm learning a lot today.
Anyway, my point is, I think that it is overblown. But anyway, let's go on to the Congress. So Congress then threw out a referendum or whatever it's called.
What a freaking waste of time.
I know, aren't they a waste of time? How about you come up with some laws that you agree with? I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, the Senate doesn't have your back, but, you know, at least you could say, like, we had this bill, and then you could use it as ammunition to fight against Republicans. Like, we wanted this bill, you know, and they're just talking about nonsense, just calling the Trump racist. So you had John Lewis, Nancy Pelosi get up there, and, you know, then you had Republicans argue with them, and then people argued if Nancy Pelosi could even call Trump's remarks racist, because I guess there's some 1890 law. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And then there's like, yeah, I'll allow it. And I'm like, okay. And then so that went on. Yeah, so
I think that this is
well, did you see they also put up articles of impeachment?
No.
It got shot down 300 and something to 75.
I mean, that's not shocking.
Like not even Democrats agreed with it. Like, it was just and stuff that was in it was all like, he's mean. Like, that's literally all they had to write on the paper.
Yeah,
he's
I
mean.
think this is a good point to bring up. When it comes to racist language and language that is just generally not okay.
Yeah.
I think you and I in our lifetimes have seen a pretty big change in language.
Yeah.
There are certain words that were okay 10, 20 years ago, and they're not okay now.
Yeah.
Like, you can't call somebody retarded.
Sorry, you thought maybe it reminded me of Tom Segura on Netflix. He had a joke about this.
Also, that's a really good special. Watch it.
Yeah, Disgraceful. It's good.
But you can't call people retarded. You can't say things are gay. You can't.
I still do.
Like, you can't say a lot of this stuff without being.
What am I gonna call gay things though?
I mean, if something's gay,
I'm not even talking about homosexuals. I'm just talking about it's gay. See, you know what I mean though, because you know the type of language in like high school.
That was the type of language.
You weren't even talking about like can I have a glass of water, no ice? That's gay.
Yeah. I mean, I've eliminated a lot of that language from my lexicon just because I don't want to be a dick to people.
Of course, I don't say it either. I'm not a 16-year-old kid on Call of Duty.
But
I'm a 27-year-old kid on Call of Duty.
That's the whole thing, because as time goes on, at some point our language will stop really developing, and we're going to be basically stuck with something unless we actively try to keep up with the lexicon. There are things that 16-year-olds say today. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Oh, that's I already know that.
So language evolves, and then when somebody like Trump, 70 years old, how old is he?
72 or 3, I think.
When he's 70-something years old and he uses what we would consider racist language, he's an old man who's said these things all his life.
No.
Do I think that he thinks that he's racist?
Yeah.
No. Does he use things that would be considered racist language today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's the thing.
And that's not the egregious thing that happened. Let's move. The egregious thing that happened was, and this is a long thing if you're still here, we had a Trump rally.
Yeah.
And there was it goes on for about 10 or 12 seconds where everyone just started chanting, "Send her back."
Yeah.
He was talking about Omar and criticizing Omar. Now, hold on. Rightfully so. I do not like Omar. I think she has horrible views. She is anti-Semitic. She has anti-Semitic remarks. If it was up to her, Israel would not even be a country, and Jews would be, if not executed, but deported from that area. Okay? She has supported many anti-Semitic groups in that area, and she refuses to, I guess you could condemn a lot of these past viewpoints. Now, do I think she should be deported? No. She is a American citizen. She has been here since she was, I think, 12 or 13 or something like that, or 15. I don't know how old she was. She is an elected congressman, okay, right? In our United States government, and she has a right to all of her opinions and viewpoints, no matter how much I disagree to them. So the fact that this chant happened, I would say, is probably the most, and I would say only, disgusting thing that happened out of this. Trump had the ability to stop them and didn't. And that, I would say, is his only and the main thing.
And
that
he's done it. He's done it before. When
Trump plays the crowd. He's a comedian. He plays the crowd.
Yeah.
And the crowd plays him. And if he, in that moment, when they started, can he send her back? If he said, no. we don't like her, we know that. And, but, she's a citizen, he could have just said something and moved on, and it would have been nothing, or it would have been a lot less than what it was. But he didn't. He stood there in silence. And then that morning he condemned those remarks and said, I wasn't a big fan of that, and I don't like it,
Yeah.
And he, felt bad. So the timing, I guess you could say,
can't control
is poor.
your followers.
Yes.
I mean, this is something that gamers on YouTube learned a long time ago.
And going back to what you were saying about some, these Republicans that are very radical viewpoints, it's not like, I don't want to sound like I'm ignorant to the fact that they don't exist. I know they exist. You know what I mean? And we saw a lot of them chant "Send her back" in that
popular
moment.
Ones.
No, there's no one who's running for office or has a platform to speak. Other than the what is it called, the Daily Stormer, the white supremacist news outlet. What? Oh, you didn't? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, David Duke's thing. I don't know.
David Duke? Who's David Duke?
KKK guy.
Does he sell Bush's
name?
baked beans or something?
Yeah, he's the guy with the dog on the commercial.
We're gonna get a cease and desist from Bush's baked beans.
See, now I have to create a thing with Bush's baked beans, the guy, and I need to put like a little hat on him. This is so off.
We've gone off the rails.
This is so bad. There's so much information, and I'm trying to articulate it clearly, and I'm failing.
Well, it's hard.
There's just so much.
It's hard to filter
talk
it all
about.
down.
There's so much to talk about because everything is just a reaction from something else. You know what I mean?
It's all a snowball effect.
My point of bringing this up is, one, I wanted to dive head first before I shut my not look at politics. I'm going to look at politics. Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, you like it.
Yeah, I'm weird. I like depressing things. But
it does truly get to me at some points.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, I don't want to live in this world anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I like House of Cards when it was on, and my dad would watch it too. And I asked him, like, "Oh, did you watch the new season or whatever?" He's just like, "I can't deal with politics and then watch politics." And I'm like, "Really?" Because I do. Yeah. Sometimes they merge together. Hey, remember when Trump pushed that reporter in front of a subway train?
Which is fine considering that I like historical politics.
Yeah, this is more drama.
Yeah, I think it's more.
They did play off the They did play off of current events though throughout House of Cards, like when the seasons were going on, like when ISIS was really like emerging and big. Like they had another, I forget what it was called in the show that they were battling within the government and stuff. Right. So it was interesting like that. But yeah, so that happened. Trump condemned the remarks, and here we are today.
Yes, and here we are.
So Trump. Oh, and then not to make this sound awful, but then did you see Trump went up in the polls with his Republicans?
No, I didn't see that.
He went up after this.
Really?
Up. So I can't really defend that or explain it. I have no
Interesting.
But yeah, I'm very disappointed in that. And personally, it's just, I don't know. First of all, if you're a type of person that goes to a Trump rally, because I as you know, I'm a Trump supporter by force. You know, I have my sign. Actually, I forgot to bring down my sign, my Trump 2020 sign. I have it. I bought two. I got one in my yard, and I didn't.
It's a very tiny sign. You should get a bigger one.
Well, I have a second one. That's gonna because it's lonely out there, so I'm gonna put them out. Yeah, I'm waiting for someone to honestly, it's not gonna happen in this county. I said I was waiting for someone to go by and trash it, but.
I mean, you got it off of Amazon. You didn't get it off of the Trump website or anything.
Well, they don't have any yet. They don't have official ones yet.
Yeah.
They're all like 16 ones, or it just says Trump Pence. There's a local place you can buy signs too that they have them.
Yeah, and you can also buy cardboard cutouts of Trump. Anyway, I think this has dragged on for a long time.
I think we're done.
So anyway,
go see Cats.
We're gonna take a break. We will be back in like a month.
Enjoy the debate. There'll probably be like 3 while we're gone. So
have a good, be good. Bye.
Wait, hold on before we go.
Furries.
Prediction. Who do you think will be the top 3 Democrats by the second week of September?
Harris, Biden, Buttigieg.
I'm going to say Harris.
I think that Warren's going to tank.
I'm going to say Harris, probably Biden, And then I'm gonna say Warren. I don't think she's gonna tank.
Yeah, I'm just taking the off chance here, but I feel like she might.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say Yang is number 4. I'm gonna say Yang's gonna be 4th.
I think Beto's gonna bring it back. No, he's not.
Beto's coming back full swing. All right, we're done.
Bye.
Bye. Beto 2020.
Beto would get eaten alive by Trump.
Beto, you look kind of funny. You're like a string bean. No, I'm the English.